Hello everyone, I am Priyanka and welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing very well. Today I am here to talk about the general introduction on Shakespeare. When we talk about Shakespeare, we cannot conclude the information about Shakespeare within some slides, or we cannot conclude it within some words. But I have tried to collect some information, some important information on Shakespeare. So let's begin with general introduction on Shakespeare. When we talk about any person, we start with the birth and end with the death of the person. So, talking about William Shakespeare, he was born in 1564 and died in 1616. He is known as Bard of Avon and Swan of Avon. Talking about his works, he has written 38 and a half plays, 154 sonnets, and two long narrative poems. When we talk about his plays, we have observed that many times it has been asked that what is the primary source behind his historical plays, or what is the main source behind his other plays. So the primary source of his historical plays is Raphael's Holyshed's Chronicles, and main source of all other plays is Thomas North's translation of Plutarch's life. Okay, when we talk about his plays, we cannot forget mentioning about First Folio. What is First Folio? First Folio is a collection of plays. It includes 36 plays having his histories, like historical plays, comedies, and tragedies. Fine. And it includes 36 plays, but there are two plays which are not included in First Folio, and these are Pericles and the Two Noble Kinsmen. Right, so these are the two plays which have been excluded from the First Folio. Right, and it was published in 1623, and it was published by Hamming and Condell. Right, the preface of First Folio consists of a poem based on Ben Jonson's quote, not of an age but of all ages. Okay, so Ben Jonson's quote, not of an age but of all ages. The poem is based on this quote, and this poem is the part of the preface of First Folio, right? And another point that I would like to make is Ben Jonson has also said that he knew little Latin and less Greek. I mean, Ben Jonson has also said about Shakespeare that he knew little Latin and less Greek, right? Then there is some information regarding A.C. Bradley. In 1904, Bradley wrote Shakespearean tragedy. What is Shakespearean tragedy? It includes 10 lectures, and these 10 lectures are on tragedies of Shakespeare. And which are those four tragedies? Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth. So, Shakespearean tragedy, written by A.C. Bradley, which was published in 1904, includes or based on four main tragedies of Shakespeare, and these are Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth. Right? Bradley has also said that character is destiny. It is regarding William Shakespeare. Right? Now there is some information regarding S.G. Coleridge. S.G. Coleridge has given 43 lectures on Shakespeare, and these lectures were delivered by Coleridge in 1811 and 12. 1811 and 12. Coleridge has said about Shakespeare that Shakespeare is of hybrid nature. It means that Coleridge has praised about the nature of Shakespeare. Fine. Then Charles Lamb and Mary Lamb, they collectively wrote tales from Shakespeare. It is a collection of, or you can say, it is a simplified form of 20 plays of Shakespeare. It means that 20 plays of Shakespeare are in simple form, or that is why we call it children's book, because it is in simplified form. And these collection or these 20 plays in simplified forms are written by Charles Lamb and Mary Lamb. Basically, Mary Lamb talks about comedies in Tales from Shakespeare, and Charles Lamb talks about tragedies in Tales from Shakespeare. Fine. It is also intended as for the use of young persons. Young persons means when children or who are not that good at literary language, they can read it, and they can get the essence from the tales from Shakespeare, right? Then Samuel Johnson. As most of you know about Samuel Johnson's famous work, Preface to Shakespeare, it was published in 1755. Johnson defends violation of unities in Preface to Shakespeare. He, also defends the mixing of tragedies and comedies in Preface to Shakespeare. He calls Shakespeare as poet of nature or nature poet. Then Dryden has written an essay on dramatic poesy in 1668. In this essay on dramatic poesy, Dryden compares Ben Jonson and Shakespeare. It means he makes a comparison between two writers. These are Ben Jonson and Shakespeare, and uh, through this comparison, he says or he concludes that I admire Ben Jonson, but I love Shakespeare. It means he considers Shakespeare as more superior than Ben Jonson, right? Then T.S. Eliot has written Hamlet and His Problems. It was written in 1919 while published in 1920. He calls Hamlet an artistic failure. The play written by William Shakespeare, that is Hamlet, he calls it an artistic failure. Also, he coined the term objective correlative in Hamlet and His Problems. I will make another video on literary terms, including objective correlative. Fine. So let's move forward. Hamlet. T.S. Eliot also says that Hamlet is Mona Lisa of literature. Mona Lisa, you must know, it was a beautiful painting. So he also praises, he also criticizes Hamlet in Hamlet and His Problems. Then Arnold has written a poem, Shakespeare, or Matthew Arnold we are talking about. Arnold praises Shakespeare. This is the line taken from Shakespeare: others abide our question, thou art free. This is a very famous line from Shakespeare, right? So it was written by Matthew Arnold, in which he praises William Shakespeare. Then Thomas Rhymer. Thomas Rhymer condemns Shakespeare for mixing tragedies and comedies. So we can say that he doesn't like the idea of mixing tragedies and comedies by William Shakespeare. Okay, it was asked in previous year NET exam. I don't remember the year, but it was recently asked that who is the first biographer of William Shakespeare, and it is Nicholas Rowe. Nicholas Rowe is the first biographer of William Shakespeare. Then there is a word, or you can say there is a term, bardolatry. What does mean bardolatry? Bardolatry means what? I think it was also asked in NET exam, what is bardolatry and who coined the term bardolatry. Actually, G.B. Shah coined the term bardolatry, and according to him, it is not a positive term. In the preface of 3 plays for Puritans, this is the work written by G.B. Shah, 3 plays for Puritans, and in this work, he coined the term bardolatry. He used this term for the people who idolized and worshipped William Shakespeare. Actually, he calls this term negative because people follow William Shakespeare blindly and they praise him blindly. They do not talk about the flaws of Shakespeare. So, the people who cannot see flaws in William Shakespeare or his works, or the people who are not capable of seeing flaws or drawbacks of William Shakespeare's works, belong to bardolatry. So, bardolatry is a cult composed of those who would make no criticism of him or William Shakespeare but recite excuses and give explanations for what Shaw and other Shakespeare detractors consider to be weaknesses and faults in Shakespeare's work. Then Harold Bloom, he praises William Shakespeare. He, considers William Shakespeare better than Plato and Augustine. He calls Shakespeare larger than Plato and Augustine. Then there is another term that is bowdlerize. What is bowdlerize? It is another term that has been asked in NET exam, I guess, and it was asked who coined the term bowdlerize, and the term has been coined by Thomas H. Bowdler in The Family Shakespeare. The work Family Shakespeare is an expurgated version of Shakespeare's plays. The meaning of the term bowdlerize is deleting or omitting indelicate language. It means whatever is considered indelicate in the works or plays of William Shakespeare has been removed, and that is the version of the collection of plays of William Shakespeare in The Family Shakespeare. So, bowdlerize means deleting or omitting indelicate language, right? Then there is a list of words which have been invented by William Shakespeare, and the words are Bandit, critic, dauntless, dwindle, swagger, skim milk, green eyed, lackluster, lonely, and elbow. So, these are some words which are considered the invention of William Shakespeare. Then there is some information regarding Globe Theatre. Globe Theatre is associated with William Shakespeare, or we can say Shakespeare was associated with Globe Theatre. Globe Theatre was built in 1599 by Lord Chamberlain's men. It was burned down in 1613, right? Okay, the last slide includes a quotation. These are the words written on Shakespeare's gravestone, and the words are "Cursed be he that moves by bones." So, this is the line, or these are the words written on Shakespeare's gravestone. Right, so that's all about William Shakespeare, and it was a video on general introduction on William Shakespeare. I would like to make another video on MCQs on William Shakespeare. So stay tuned, keep watching, keep supporting, and keep subscribing. Thank you so much. Hello everyone, I am